Hey everyone. So I went through and looked at all of your intro posts and got to know you all a little bit. And first, I just want to say welcome. And it's so cool to see so many people from so many different places. I mean, all over the United States, and then the UK, Brazil, Spain, Hong Kong, uh, Cambodia. I mean, welcome, especially those of you who are joining us from overseas. I know it's challenging and yeah, it's made possible because of the information technology and the way it's changed. Also, welcome to all you musicians. I was blown away. So many different. There were some singer-songwriters and hip hop artists, and those of you who have a musical gift. And who a former bass player, now pastor, Melody, right? That's cool. I'm in the same boat. I was the bass player in our church band for a long time, and then they signed me up for the associate pastor gig, and then I started to have to let it go, and then now I don't get to do it anymore. It makes me sad. I actually much prefer playing bass to preaching, but you go where the opportunities are, where the calls are. So there's that. Um, yeah, and then also interesting things that you're all looking for in this class. I was interested to see, some of the hot button issues. A couple of you talked about sexuality, human sexuality, and that's a big deal, especially in the North American church right now. Um, who I can't remember who said, maybe it was Kenneth, but somebody said looking to find out what the church is for. Maybe it was Chris, I can't remember, but that's such an interesting question. It's like we do it and we keep doing it, and it's a huge part of our lives, and yet at a certain point we actually have to step back and say, wait, why? That's a great question. Interesting things. Was it Michael, who's a Skyrim addict? Yeah, man, I dropped about 120 hours in that game, and apparently they're going to redo it for next gen in HD or something. So I'm pretty excited about that. Ricky, Chattanooga, one of my best friends from college was from Chattanooga, and I never visited him there, but he lives in Seattle now, and I get to hang out with him from time to time when I go up there. Um, Also, welcome so much. So many of you come from such different theological backgrounds, and I noticed one of the cool things about Fuller, and this happens almost every quarter, is that there's people who have been skipping around. You started out here, and then you did this, and now we're here. I think Kenneth started out like Southern Baptist, and then he and his girlfriend went Orthodox for a while and compromised on Anglicanism. That was really cool. Good story. If I could jump ship from my kind of small B Baptist roots, I would probably want to go Anglican, but yeah. And then David, I think, was talking about growing up and being in the Mark Driscoll vein of kind of neo-reform thinking, and then now kind of wanting to expand past that and maybe look at in different ways. A lot of you said things like, "Hey, I'm interested to see other points of view and other ways of doing Christian faith," and that's an incredibly good attitude to have, especially at Fuller. We're non-denom, and we've got a Russian Pentecostal hip hop artist here, Valentine, and we've got Presbyterians, and we've got me, and so having that kind of openness to seeing different points of view, that's gonna be huge. Um, yeah, so welcome, and I'm glad that you guys have already started to get to know each other and see each other a little bit in the forums. That's only going to increase, and if you can just keep that, I guess, generous and charitable attitude towards each other, that's huge. But don't be afraid to, say your mind, speak your mind. Don't pull your punches. We do have a lot of theological diversity here. Maybe it's David who is passionate about just peacemaking. There's going to be people who are probably more into just war, and that's okay. The value is in meeting together, being respectful, and at the same time articulating clearly your views, and then being challenged on them. And so, if you can see that in the forums, I would say it's worthwhile to go out of your way to find someone that disagrees with you, and maybe even vehemently so. That's okay. That's where there's value. There's value in meeting and then challenging and then being challenged back and then using scripture and using different theological resources, especially those that we encounter during the quarter, to kind of navigate those changes and those challenges. So please don't turn this into too much kumbaya. We all get along and we all agree with each other on everything, because we don't and we shouldn't. Um, the church has always moved forward out of conflict and out of ultimately syntheses that come through focused, determined disagreement. And it's prayerful and it's charitable and it's kind, but it is disagreement, and do not shy away from that. So, yeah, I'll have one other video post a little bit about kind of the way the format of the course works and how to integrate forums into the rest of your work. So check that out. But for now, thank you so much, and I'm really glad that you all are here. The more that you can post, and if you guys are interested in doing video posts, I can help you with that because that's always fun. People like it. And it's a nice way to actually get a whole bunch of words out really, really quick without having to type. So if you're interested in doing that in the forums, please let me know because it's a great way to get to know each other. In the meantime, thank you, welcome, and looking forward to investigating some interesting stuff with all of you. So thanks.